Hi guys, it's Matt from EveryCloud Technologies. Today we're going to be looking at the web filter. We're going to look at this in two ways. First of all, from an admin perspective, so an end user admin where he or she are looking at the web statistics, the logs of what's been happening on site, but also from a reseller perspective where the setup and the administration of the customer's web filtering goes on. So we're going to try and do this in two halves, a little bit back to front, but it just saves some of our end users some of the laborious bits. Okay, so as normal, the first tab that we come to when we log into the control panel, we've logged in as the domain admin here for giovon.com, is the workspace tab, but obviously what we're interested in is the web filter. So we click the web filter tab. Now the first tab that we come to when we're on the web filter are the release requests. These are end users that have visited a website that has been blocked. They have the option, if you choose to give it to them, they have the option of requesting a release request. Now there is the ability for the user to put a message in here, and you can see the comments here. So that you can see. You also have, from this release request, you can go directly to the website. In this instance we'll go to leo.org. You can have a look, see if you want to release it or not. Okay, if you want to release it, all you simply need to do is put a tick in the box. We can either allow to release that for the individual user that requested it. We could do it, whitelist it for the group that he's associated to, he or she's associated to, or we can add it to the entire company and put a global whitelist on there. So that gives us a little comfort message now that we've whitelisted that, so everybody within the company now has the ability to visit that website. So really powerful. We can not only see from this new request, we can see emails that have been or websites that have been released through the request, and we can also see websites that were rejected from those requests. These requests are only available if you choose to set them up in the original setup of your account. So for example, if you're in a school environment or you're in a workplace where you have tens of thousands of people and you don't want them to even request the release of specific websites, you can block that, but we'll come on to that a little bit later. We can also, in terms of tracking staff, we have the ability to add or track an individual user or on a domain basis. So in this instance here, where we can see the user's name, we know that that user has a browser proxy and they are using that browser proxy in their browser. If you choose to, you do not have to track your individual employees. You can have one default policy for the entire domain, and if that is the case, then the user will come up as the domain name. So in this instance, in this demo, we've got two types of filtering going on. We've got one group of domain filtered, so that's just an open area that is filtered with a default policy. We've also got individuals where we can track those as well. So what information do we have? We can look at the block sites that have been visited. Let's have a look in June. Oh, well, we were very good in June. We only had 3 attempts to visit block sites. You can see these were stopped for pornography. If I wanted to, I could go and link to these if I was an on-site admin, but I don't really think that that we should be looking at those sites. But what I do think we should be looking at is the valid sites that our users have been looking at. So we can see here the time and date. We can see the URL. We can link directly to that URL as well. We can see the IP address that was accessing that website. So for example, if you've got remote users, we can see the IP address of those remote users. We can see the actual individual and the time that he spent on the website here, and the website that the website is categorized as. So a very powerful set of data so that you can track and monitor, and obviously you can look and see if you've got any cyber slacking going on. But what we'll do now is we'll just have a look at the initial setup. This could be done by the reseller, or if you have purchased the product directly from us, you can do this yourself. But underneath the management tab, As always, on the left hand side we go down to the domain, to the main domain here, and we'll have a look at the web filter setup and configuration. So we come on to the web filter tab. We're now with the web filter activated. We are presented with a number of different options. The first thing that we're presented with is the download for the A connector. The A connector is a proprietary piece of software that silently connects the user's machine to the web filter. Okay, this needs to be installed on all machines that you want the web filter to be used on, if you want to track the individual users. So this is the A connector that can be installed and deployed using group policy. Also, the next is the URL for the proxy config file. This is unique to every single user. So please, resellers, don't swap these out, otherwise the data will be displayed in incorrect users' control panels. So this needs to be deployed using group policy again. It needs to be installed in all of the browser proxies. This is for the HTTPS certificate. This is the information that you need here. So now we go on to the settings. This is the administrator's email. So when we looked at the release requests before, this was the email address where the release requests were going to. Now we've got a number of things activated here. User-based access, so this is so that we can track users, but we've also got IP-based access as well. So this is for IP-based access. If you remember back in the logs, we had both the user and the domain being shown in the logs. The domain only, these were the people accessing the web filter just using IP-based access. We can do LDAP authentication, email on release requests. These were the requests that were shown in the control panel earlier on. HTTPS data can be checked, and we have something called Enable Business Manager. I'll come on to that in the next section. So we've got groups. You can create your own groups, and each group has different access to different different categories. We can click Activate Group, allow users to request a release. We also have Email Group Leader. So if you didn't want all of the requests from a specific group going to the admin, let's say for example you've got a marketing department and you wanted, say, the individuals working in the marketing department to be have the request release from the marketing manager or marketing director, then those email release requests can go directly to the manager rather than the on-site admin. So this gives a great deal of control over the individuals and the users within the company. We can enable an advertising filter. This effectively stops all PPC advertising, pay-per-click, AdWords, AdSense. Will stop that being displayed. Particularly useful if you don't want your staff clicking on those types of adverts, or particularly in a school environment. We can block uncategorized URLs. We can block hack servers. We can enable FTP connections. We can allow temporary release of domains activated by the group leader. And we can forbid specific file extensions being downloaded by individuals. Okay, we can also add break times. So for example, if you want to allow staff to have access to the internet at specific times, let's say from 7:45 till 9, you can allow them to use Facebook or different applications. As I mentioned there, application control. We can control specific applications on the end user's machines. We can allow them, deny them, or only allow them to use them at break times. So for example, if you've got ICQ Messenger or Facebook Messenger, we can allow that to be used only at break times. We can forbid specific browsers being used so they can't bypass the filter as well. We have the categories tab. Here you can add specific categories for specific domains, or for specific groups, and we can disable, once again, allow or allow at break times. Templates. If you want to create your own templates for being displayed to the user, so for example, if you want your company logo displayed and contact an on-site admin to request release, or if you're a reseller and you want to personalize or white label the product, you can select the templates here. Or if you want to add some exceptions in a company intranet or some exceptions that are from trusted websites, you can add all of those here. So going back to the workspace again, you can see we've got incredible powerful tools, we've got incredible functionality. This is all virtual real-time anyway, so you can see exactly what's going on almost up to the second. If you need any questions on the actual deployment, installation of the web filter, give us a call, 0844 887 0000. I'm Matt. If you need any help, give me a call.